Hello, I'm Mykelindell, and I'm excited to announce my new product, Mycoffee. I get products all the time from entrepreneurs for my new platform, mystore.com. And when I tried Mycoffee for the first time, I was blown away. It is the best coffee I've ever had in my life.
Hey everyone, it's Chris with Hot Shots. I want to thank you so much for joining me for another great episode of Hot Shots TV. Now, you saw the little intro there. We're going to be talking about Mycoffee. Well, not my coffee, but his coffee. And who's he? Mykelindell. If you're not familiar with Mykelindell, he is the MyPillow guy. I'm sure you've seen his pictures and videos and stuff before out there. And first thing I want to say a couple things. One is this video is not political by any means. So the only thing political is probably the product and where it came from, is this guy, Mykelindell. He's very big into politics. He was a big follower with Trump and everything, and still is, and all of that stuff. So I'm going to leave all of that out there for you to kind of decipher, figure out what you want to know about. My main point here is I was watching TV and I noticed that Mike now has Mycoffee. So for me, and this being a coffee channel, I wanted to find out how good is Mike's coffee. And there's a couple of little things that I found out just from watching the commercial that I'm going to share with you in this video that I think is pretty interesting. I think really the main thing that we got to find out is how good is Mycoffee? Would I say this is really my coffee? So that's what we're going to dive in today. We're going to do a tasting. We're going to do a little coffee profile breakdown of this coffee. So you know where to find that. Look down in the description box here and you'll find my profile, which will tell you kind of everything as we go down of what this coffee is. And so I always invite you guys, my fans out there and followers, to download the my profile, I keep saying that, coffee profile, Hot Shots' is coffee profile, so that you can follow along with me. We can talk about what the profile of this coffee is and if it's right for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. And welcome back. So we're going to take a look at my coffee and we're going to see if it's going to be your coffee. That's what we do here at Hot Shots. So we're going to do a nice little review over this. There's going to be a couple things here that we're going to go over before we really get into the coffee. And typically, if you watch my channel and you're familiar with this channel, what I like to do is do a little summary on what I've purchased as far as the coffee bag, what does it say on it, you know, if there's any ingredients on the product that we're looking at, things of that nature. I'm also going to go over what came in the box that was shipped, kind of like a little preview of the unboxing of what it is. And then of course we're going to do the coffee profile that you guys know and love, which really gives you a good summary of what this coffee is about, what's the flavor profile, tastings, things like that. And then I'm also going to be talking about a little briefly about a couple unique, I guess, Easter eggs that I found when looking into this coffee, seeing the commercials and all that fun stuff. And then ultimately what we want to find out is my coffee going to be your coffee, based on my kind of opinion here of how good it is. So before we go into any of that, one thing I do want to mention to you is that you know, we're going to be focusing more and more. One of the biggest feedback I've heard back from you guys is that you guys really enjoy the yearly coffee reviews, where I break down about 5 coffees and I do a full review on them. I do even a blind taste test, and I tell you what's the best coffee to purchase and order. And a lot of that's going to be based on things that you can find either on Amazon, which we'll always drop links for Amazon or anything else. But we like to give you feedback. Even for this, I'm going to drop a link down where to purchase it off of his website. Now, just so we're clear, I don't make any commission on this. I was not sent Mycoffee to do this review. This is something I purchased with my own money. So you'll see in several of our little videos that we might have, obviously, our shop that you can always go to and check out. And we appreciate any purchases that you guys do from that. But then also we have Amazon links too that we make a little commission off of. So if you want to support this channel, doing it that way. And then we have other little links and stuff that if you want to make donations and things like that to us and the channel, there's opportunity for that as well. So, you know, if you like this channel, the very least I always say is like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We appreciate it. And that way you find out a little bit more about me and who I am. But on top of that, let's get into this. And my main point with all that is saying that this could be this year's coffee of the year. So let's find out if it is going to be in that running, and if it's going to be any good. So let's go into it. One of the first things I do want to talk about, and I'll break out kind of what, like I said, an Easter egg about this coffee. So most of you guys probably know Mykelindell, and like I said, the main point of this is I don't want to get political with any of this, but what I will say is that they do a lot of commercials, and I've personally, I'll be transparent here, I have read his book. I think his book is great. If you haven't read it, I think it's something good. If you're an entrepreneurial mindset and you want to go out and do things, I think regardless, his book is very, very interesting of what he's gone through. And I think anything, if anything, that he's definitely a big success in what he does. And I don't think many people can say he isn't. But that being said, so I saw his commercial, Mycoffee, pop up on one of the channels that I was watching, and I was like, wow, okay, so he's now talking about his coffee. He did his pillow, he did all these different things, and I thought to myself, well, this is something that I can really say if it's worth your time to purchase and try. So the other thing, when I was watching the video, there's actually an area, and I'll show a picture here of what I found out, but in the video, he gives you hints of who his actual roaster is. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, this is also under the umbrella of my shop, so I don't know if he's just pitching a customer that's a part of his shop, if that makes sense, and rebranding it as his own and letting that be out there. But in case you want to know who I think his roaster is, like I said, there's a picture up here that you'll kind of see. But I think it's a roaster called Don Pablo. And there's an area when he talks about, in the video, he talks about kind of this small origin, organic growth. Anyways, all this stuff with this roaster. And he actually takes a snippet from the video of their website and puts it in his part of his commercial. And then also he has the roaster. The guy's wearing Don Pablo hat, Don Pablo shirt, which you just saw the image of. And so that's what I think it is. Now, the difference is that this is a Honduran coffee. So what I was really going to do is I was going to buy this coffee, and then I was going to buy Don Pablo's Honduran blend. I didn't see any. They have Guatemalan, they have Colombian, they have a Colombian Supremo, but they didn't have anything like this. So I was like, okay, well, let's just taste it and see. So if anyone that's watching this can decipher any more than that, let me know. But as far as I can tell, I'm assuming that's the roaster that's roasting this coffee for him and just kind of white labeling it as his own. So that being said, I thought that was interesting. This is what came in the box when I opened it. So obviously I got my little invoice here, which told me what I was getting and what I purchased. Then we have Get Mike's news media and social media apps, Frank Speech and Frank Social. So nice little tidbit here. And then he has Watch Lindell TV live 24/7, frankspeech.com, and he's got all kinds of people on here. So I think these people have their own YouTube channels. I'm not too sure. Obviously very strong conservatives on this, but you got even Mike has his own show. Pete Santilini, I'm sure I'm saying that right. America's Mom. Anyways, bunch of different people on here that is pretty interesting. Roger Stone and a few others. So anyways, he's got that. He's also got one of the most important events of our country's history, the Moment of Truth Summit. He's got a Truth Summit. It's going to be live streamed on Lindell TV, and Frank, the voice of free speech. So if you didn't know, he's really big into conservatorship. He's someone that's a big Trump supporter, and even with the last election, trying to not overturn it, I guess, but more of giving out information about that. And the other thing is My Pillow. So this is a catalog, a little mini product catalog, and it even includes a couple of discounts in here. So for a pillow, for the shoes, My Slippers, Giza Dream Sheets, and all those fun things. So that's basically what I got. And then I got a little scripture here. I got, not by force nor by strength, but not by force, nor by strength, but my spirit says the Lord Almighty. Zechariah 4:6. So I got that too. I don't know. I wonder if he gives different little things there for what you order. But I thought that was interesting too, and I think a nice touch. You know, marketing is all about getting out in front of people and really kind of getting them to purchase again, and doing little things like that for his base might be great. So now we got into the coffee. It says here, Mycoffee, specialty coffee. Now, as you know, the other thing that I always preach on this channel is talking about getting your coffee. When you get coffee, try to always go whole bean. It's going to be fresher longer. It's going to be the freshest as you get it out of the bag. If you do ground, just know that if this has been sitting on the shelf for a few months, it's probably not going to be the freshest thing that you could get. So I always say beans trap in a little bit more and keep the freshness a little bit better than ground coffee. That's not to say you go to a grocery store, some of those beans have been there for 6 months probably, and you're not going to get anything fresh out of that as well. So we're going to grind this up. We're going to do a little bit of tasting here, but basically I got the whole bean, medium roast, 100% Arabica, certified organic, medium roast Honduran, full bodied with a deep, rich flavor, clean finish, and low acidity. Now that's the key here. We want to see how low acidity is on this thing, because you know, when we do these reviews, a lot of the coffees that I try, and what I love about the Italian blended stuff is there's no acidity. It's very good, very smooth. Storage, tells you little things on the side about storage and all that. Then he talks about a little bit about himself on the back here and thanking me for purchasing his coffee or my coffee. And then talking about the organic origins of the coffee on this side. But basically your standard, this is a 12-ounce bag. I think he also has a bigger bag, and it can either be ground, non-ground, and then you got the different flavor profiles as far as boldness. So you got light, medium, and dark, I believe, on his website too. So next thing that we really have to go to is just trying this coffee. So you guys hang in there, and I will be right back, and we're gonna brew some of this up, and I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on it. And we're gonna do the coffee profile, my profile. We'll be right back. Okay guys, so now let's try my coffee. So if you don't have this, like I said, we're gonna go over this. This is our coffee profile here at Hot Shots. And basically what this is a summary of different flavors, taste, smells, things like that. And we do this when we go through a full detail of a coffee to really give you a good summary of what the coffee's all about. That is down in the description box, so make sure you download it. It's free, and it's just something great to have, fun to do as we go over this coffee profile. So here it is. I brewed it. As you saw probably in the video that we did an AeroPress to brew this guy. You know, I'm really liking the AeroPress. I mentioned that to you guys before if you watched my previous videos, that I think AeroPress, I was surprised of how good it is. So we're gonna get into a theme here of using maybe 1 or 2 methods to brew these coffees for these coffee profiles. Haven't really decided too much yet. We've kind of bounced around a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll find that really there's not that big of a difference. I mean, there's a difference, but there's, for the average person probably watching this channel wanting a good review, as long as I'm making this all as kind of a standardized grind, beans, all that type of stuff, and getting the same flavor profile, you're gonna pretty much have the same experience. And that details on that is for another video. But just so you guys know, and I'm being transparent, I did about a little bit of a medium to a fine grind. On my grinder, it's about like a 6, 5.5 to 6. So just a little tweak over, because I know with the AeroPress, the way I like it and the way to get kind of a good medium blend is to kind of go a little bit finer than you go just full medium or lower to more of a coarse grind. That doesn't really work well with the AeroPress and the time frame that you have to brew it. So did a kind of more of a fine grind on the brew, medium to fine, and that's what's going to make up this. And then obviously did a shot, pulled that, and then added some hot water on top of it. So that's what we're going to be tasting here. Coffee's been sitting here obviously for a minute or two since I started talking to you, but really just made it and made it fresh. Once again, we typically like to do tasting with just the black coffee. Then I add a little bit of creamer here with my little dinosaur Mike creamer bell here. And then we also have some beans here that I just want to kind of tell you what they look like, which I think also adds to what you're getting with this coffee. So without further ado, let's start with the aroma. So Mycoffee, to be honest, it has a great aroma. I'm going to tell you that just straight off. When I got this in the box, I opened up the box. The first thing I smelled is I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good smelling coffee. So as far as aroma goes, I would give that a high score, let's say good for aroma. And as you know, we've had some coffees, especially those dark roast coffees that are like the really, and check out those videos, but the really high caffeinated coffees. I mean, they taste or they smell pretty strong, but not really a pleasant smell in my opinion. But as far as this goes, it does smell like a great cup of coffee. So smell, color is actually, it's medium, but it's probably more on the dark side. At least from the way I made it. I didn't add a lot of water into this. You know, when I make coffees, this is probably a 12-ounce cup, but it's probably filled about 8 to 10 ounces. So not a lot of water, but it's definitely a medium, but I would say almost a little bit darker. You can also tell with the beans, the color in the cup matches the beans. The beans here are a kind of probably closer to a medium dark roast in my opinion. They're not very, very light and colorful like you would see with most mediums. They're very oily and they're, like I said, fairly dark as far as a roast goes. So color, I would say medium to dark, but let's just say medium. So that matches the flavor. Taste. Now, let's get into the true tasting of this thing. How does it taste? So this coffee is interesting. A lot of medium coffees are, I would say, I don't want to say they're a lot of coffees that I try, and probably a lot of coffees you try. They have a taste, but it's normally, if it's not bold up front and all the way through, it's pretty mild all the way through, and then you get an aftertaste. I would say this is very similar. It's definitely a medium roast. I'm not going to say it's acidic. It's definitely, I don't think it's acidic. Might have a little bit of acidity at the end. More of a little bit, actually more of a sour taste. Just a hint of sour. So I definitely put down sour. I would say rich, bold. Though it's not a huge, rich, bold coffee. Okay, this isn't one of the best medium coffee blends that I've tried. It's good, but the first thing I'm tasting actually is kind of, the flavor profile is matching with the water, so it kind of goes stagnant, if that makes sense. I don't want to say old or stale, but it's almost coming off a little bit that way to me. But like I said, it's a medium blend. I got a little bit of acidity, but mainly I'm going to say out of these flavors here, it's definitely not a sweet coffee. It's definitely not a sweet coffee. Let's see what it says on here. Rich flavor with a deep, clean finish, low acidity. I will say it's a very clean coffee to me, I guess. But in the middle, like as soon as you taste it, there's not a lot of oomph there. It's just a just a medium taste all the way through, and then you get a little bit of the sour notes kind of in the middle there going towards the end, and it has a very unique taste. We'll go into notes here next, but let's just go through taste. Taste, rich, bold, sour, circle those. I think that's good there. As far as notes go, that's really what we want to get to. I'm gonna say this definitely has more of a leathery taste to it. I mean, when I'm drinking it, sometimes when I drink these coffees, it's gonna sound weird, but sometimes when I drink it, it's almost like you're tasting the inside of a barrel, you know, like maybe like a whiskey barrel or something, okay? That's kind of what this reminds me of. You get these kind of harsher notes, the leather. I don't want to say artificial. There's definitely nothing fruity about this coffee. It's very just a medium, and I would say, if anything, maybe nutty and leathery. You could say smoky, but it's not too much like that, like some of those other coffees we tried in the past, mainly those high caffeinated coffees. Those are very smoky because they're so dark, but I would say, yeah, nutty and leathery as far as notes go. Now, let's try it with a little bit of cream. My little Mike Dino here. I'm calling him Mike. What do you guys think about that name? Get a little bit of cream in there. Thank you, sir. All right. Stir this up a little bit. Now, as I've talked to you guys before about this, the cream, really what it does is it softens it all a little bit and kind of gives you a little bit of different flavors behind the scenes, if you will. That's what I love about adding a little bit of dairy into a black coffee. And with that, I can tell you, it actually takes out pretty much a lot of the flavor that I like, to be honest, with this coffee. So as far as that goes, if you want to do dairy in this coffee, or if you're looking for something that's medium, bold, what have you with the coffee, I would say the dairy really cuts a lot of the flavor, which to me was kind of more rich, bold, harsh, but it cuts a lot of that out. It's definitely not acidic. A little bit of those sour notes are still there, but to be honest, this wouldn't be a coffee I'd probably put dairy in. I kind of like it the way it is. So now, is it a good coffee? I think it is good. I would say, as far as the flavor overall, if you wanted a medium roast, this is better than going down to your local diner. And a lot of times, I hate to say that, but a lot of your restaurants, your diners, your places like that, when you ask for a cup of coffee, it's just straight water. This at least has flavor to it. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's not really my favorite ideal medium blend flavor, but if I was going to have a coffee, a medium blend coffee, and someone offered me this, would I drink it? Yes. Do I love it? No. But I would say I like it. It's not bad. But as you can tell, for the flavor profile and what I'm setting up here with our coffee profile here, is that this is going to be a coffee that's not going to be sweet. It's not going to be floral. It's not going to be buttery or anything like that, in my opinion. But it's definitely going to be a medium roast, a little bit more on the harsher side, a little bit more on the darker side. Leathery, nutty. If you like that kind of flavor, I'm not a big fan of drinking that kind of coffee, but I know guys and people and gals that they want just that really strong kind of medium, stronger on the medium end, and just really, really kind of rich and bold in between, then this is going to be a good coffee for you. That's my opinion on it. Would I say go out and buy it? I would say if you like these notes based on this coffee profile, sure, try it. It's worth a buy. Am I going to say that this is my best coffee I tried this year? Probably not, but I would say it's past the 50% line. Most coffees that I try, a lot of times they're not brewed correctly, but also, they don't have that impact. This at least has some impact. I'd like it, if Mike ever watches this video, I'd like it if it had more impact. I'd like the flavors to be a little bit different. It's definitely not as too acidic. It's not too sour either. So I do like that aspect of it. A lot of the local roasters I try around here is very acidic. Okay. And so is it good? Yes. Is it the best? I don't know. I don't think so. But is it worth your buy? Is this worth you to say your coffee and put it on your shelf and brew it out of your coffee machine? I would say yes, if that flavor profile meets with what you are looking for. So other than that, that's going to be it for my video, guys. One thing I do want to say is if you want to find the coffee profile, once again, that's in the description. If you want to purchase this, I'm going to leave a link to Mike's website. Lastly, pricing on this, I want to say I almost spent $20 to get this, and that's their cheapest coffee. That's what I want to say, with shipping and everything out the door. If you're going to buy this on a regular basis, I think they have subscription plans, and obviously you can buy it in a bigger size. And you know, I didn't try the dark, I didn't try the light, I just went for the medium, what most people I feel are going to purchase this and want. So there might be different flavors, there might even be different origins that he comes out with here in the future. We'll just have to see. But if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already to find more great videos like this. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.